Hope you are all doing well. Today I am outside on my porch. It's such a pretty day. You may hear some traffic. I'm not real close to the road, but sometimes people go loud at hearing the concerts. And we're going to go over today. I wanted to touch on the Taco Bell killer, Henry Louis Wallace. He was a serial killer that was in the Charlotte area, and this was in the early 1990's. He killed 11 women, black women. He became known again as the Taco Bell Strangler. And for 2 years, he went undetected. He basically befriended these women mostly at work. He worked at different restaurants, but mainly at Taco Bell. And he would befriend these women and either take them out on dates or over to, I think, their houses or his houses. But yeah, he befriended them and killed them all. And this started from like March the 8th, 1990, and then he was caught March the 8th, 1994. So who was Henry Louis Wallace? He was born 11/4/65 in South Carolina, Barnwell, South Carolina. And he mostly killed in North Carolina, but did admit to killing one lady in South Carolina. He is currently awaiting Central Prison in Raleigh, death row, currently. His early life, when he was born, it was in Barwell, South Carolina, and that was on 11/4/65 to Lottie Mae Wallace. Henry grew up with a very strict mother, working long hours in textiles, and she was very abusive, like verbally especially. She criticized him constantly on the smallest mistakes. He attended Barnwell High School and was elected student council and also was on the cheer team. He graduated in 1983 and became a disc jockey, and then he joined the Navy in 1985. The same year in 1985, he married his high school sweetheart, Moretta Brabham. In 1988, Wallace was honorably discharged from the Navy. So during his time in the Navy, Henry admitted to becoming addicted to drugs, as far including crack cocaine. He had several warrants for burglarizing places, and he was arrested for breaking into a hardware store. He pled guilty to second-degree burglary. I don't know why I can't say that word. He was sentenced to 2 years for supervised probation at that time, and it was reported by his probation officer that he usually did not even show up for most of his mandatory meetings for probation. Arrested on March the 13th, 1994, and for 12 hours he confessed to 10 murders in the Charlotte area. He then confessed on the 11th murder before he even moved to Charlotte, and that was like in the South Carolina. He described in detail the women's appearances, how he raped them, robbed them, and then killed them. The police were rejoicing that Henry was arrested, but many of the area black community was not happy. They said that the murders were neglected for way too long. It was quoted that one woman said that the police did not care because they looked at the murder victims as fast girls who hung out a lot. So they were more ignored and not put as much attention to. The Charlotte's police chief at the time was Dennis Milwaukee, and he stated that he was unaware of the killer until early March of 1994, when 3 young black women were murdered within like a several days span. And the coincidence and the way they were killed, it became apparent that they had a serial killer. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department apologized to Charlotte citizens for not spotting a link between the murders soon enough. They claimed they buried enough to throw them off Wallace's trail. until he started picking up cases. Then they recognized the coincidences. This case was delayed for 2 years. It was due to like where they were going to have the trial at, DNA evidence from the murder victims, and then jury selection. It held it off for 2 years. So the trial started in September of 1996. Prosecution pushed the death penalty. Defense asked for life sentence, arguing that Henry suffered from mental illness and that the murders were not first-degree murder because they did not result from him premeditating and deliberation. According to the FBI murder profiler Robert Ressler, he quoted, "If Henry had elected to become a serial killer, he was going about it the wrong way. Mr. Wallace always seemed to take one step forward and 2 steps backwards. He would take items of the murder victims, put them in the stove to destroy them by burning them, and then just leave them. He would not burn them." The police asked for FBI help in 1994, but was told the murders were not the work of a serial killer. A psychologist at the trial testified that Henry had been a victim of physical and mental abuse at the hands of his mother since birth, and that he had mental illness at the time of the killings. The psychologist argued for the life sentence without parole instead of the death penalty. Then, on January 1997, Wallace was found guilty on 9 murders. On January 27, 1997, he was given 9 death sentences. He was convicted of all the murders. He admitted to all of them, exception of Bethia and Nance. He did not admit to those. Wallace made a statement to the victims' families. He stated, "None of these women, none of your daughters, none of your sisters, none of your mothers, family members, in any way deserved what they got. They did nothing to me that warranted their death." On June the 5th, 1998, Wallace married a former prison nurse, Rebecca Torhaus, in a ceremony at the prison next to the state's executions chamber. Since 1997, Wallace has appealed to overturn the death penalty, stating that his confessions were coerced and his constitutional rights were violated. The NC Supreme Court upheld the sentences in 2000. The U.S. Supreme Court in 2001 denied his appeal. In 2005, Superior Court Jude Charles Lamb rejected Wallace's latest appeal to overturn his convictions and death sentences. Do you think that Wallace really should have got he did get the death penalty? Do you think he deserves the death penalty? Do you believe he should got the life sentence? Do you believe that, I'm always, it's hard, like mental health, yeah, you think a lot of these are mentally unstable. When do they when's the fine line of should they be given just the life sentence or death penalty for these murders? More close to home. I'm from North Carolina, not from Charlotte. It's about an hour away from me, but tell me what you think about this case, and if you've heard of it before. And definitely hit my like and subscribe on Crime and Chaos Diaries with Nicole Krieg. I hope you enjoyed this case, and I'm working on the next one, so we'll see you soon.